Today, I want to talk about 6 things that I did over the age of 50 to lose weight and to lose body fat. So one of the biggest challenges we face as we get older is our metabolisms slow down. So no matter what we do, once our hormones drop, our metabolisms slow down. So I realized this. I realized what I did in my 20s and 30s and early 40s was no longer working. I was eating the same things, kind of working out in the same way, and it wasn't working. So I was really wanted to find out answers. So I did a deep dive and took a lot of courses, did a lot of studying, and figured out ways that could help me really lose fat and change my body composition. So what are the 6 things I did to help with my body composition? So one, I cut out processed foods. So I'm a mom of 3, I have 2 businesses, and processed foods are obviously really easy. So grab a protein bar here and there. And at night I would have vegetarian meatballs or vegetarian chicken nuggets. And I thought I was being really healthy. So I started to cut those out. And I also decided I wanted to bring more protein into my diet. Specifically, I wanted to bring in healthy meats. So if you don't eat meat, you don't have to bring meat into your diet. But it was just an easier way for me to increase my protein needs. So secondly, that's the second thing I want to talk about that really helped me was increasing my protein. So as we age, we need more protein. Our body doesn't utilize protein in the body the same way. So if you eat 20 grams of protein, your body doesn't associate it as 20 grams of protein coming in. So you need more protein in order if you want to build muscle and change your body composition. Okay, and those were my goals. I really wanted to drop fat and change my body composition. So in order to do that, I needed to have more protein in order to build muscle. So you're not going to build a lot of muscle unless you're eating the right way. And eating in a vegetarian lifestyle, for me, it was very, very hard to get in the protein that I needed. So I brought in grass-fed beef and I brought in lean chicken and turkey. So instead of having those processed pre-packaged foods, the vegetarian meatballs, I started making my own meatballs. And so that was the swap that I made in order to get to a higher protein intake. So 1, cut out processed foods, 2, brought in more protein, a lot more protein. So I weigh 120 pounds. So I brought in 120 to 150 grams of protein a day. So I really just changed the way that my macros were broken down. So I would say the third thing that I did was I cut out really late night snacking. So I'm a kind of person that can't go to bed hungry. So if I would wake up and I was hungry, then I would grab something that I thought was low in calorie. Or right before I went to bed, I would grab something that was low in calories. So those air popcorn bags that are 100 or 150 calories, but a good amount of carbs. So I decided to swap that out. So when I was really, really focused on having a protein forward lifestyle, I was struggling to find recipes that were really fast. So I did, deep dive and found some recipes, and I'll link them here. But one really thing that I enjoyed was making this this dip for my apples. So I would have apples, which are higher in fiber, and make a protein dip, which was chocolate protein powder, a little water, and some cottage cheese mixed together, microwave it, and makes a little brownie. But when it's warm, I just dip fruit into it, or you can let it cool down. It firms up and becomes a nice brownie. So it's a good 30 grams protein at night. So I would have a higher protein snack, and it would be a couple hours before bed. So that's the thing. The fourth thing that I want to talk about is sleep. So you really need to prioritize sleep. So I know a lot of people talk about it, but sleep is so important. It's when our bodies are really healing themselves, regenerating. So sleep needs to be a priority. It can't just be I'm just going to go to sleep whenever. As we age, it just doesn't really work as well. So I needed to make sure that my diet was right so that I could sleep, through the night. So when I was younger, I could just eat right before bed and sleep through the night like a baby. But now as I'm older, if I eat right before bed, it just screws me up and I'm tossing and turning. So making sleep a priority. I had an Aura ring. I started wearing my Aura ring again and just really being mindful of making sure that I prioritize my whole day around when I would be able to go to bed at night and based on when I had to get up the next morning. So the fifth thing that I changed was my workouts. So I used to do a lot of cardio-based workouts, fast moving type of workouts, longer HIIT workouts. And so based on the science, you really need to change the way you're working out. So the workouts that worked in our 20s, 30s, and early 40s to maintain our weight, to lose weight, to build muscle, I guess, really don't work when you're, over 45, 50 and older. So you really need to prioritize strength training for one, because the more muscle that you have, the stronger that you are. The more muscle that you have, it makes your bones stronger, your tendons stronger, everything stronger within your body so that you can help you avoid injury, right? So I really wanted to have less fat. In order to have less fat, you need to have more muscle. So I prioritized strength training. So I would do strength training a few days a week and progressively make it harder and harder. So, there's so many of my clients that do a lot of classes and still like are not happy with their bodies. So like Orange Theory or Pilates or yoga or body weight type of things. And so from what I've learned and what I've studied is, even these Orange Theory type of classes, while, you feel like you get a great workout, you burn a lot of calories, it's not customized enough for what we need in order to really change your body composition. So you'll see a lot of people take these classes and still are not happy with their body or still have a lot of body fat or holding on to a lot of body fat. Or maybe people do a lot of cardio and they're runners and you see they're still holding on to a lot of body fat. So if what you're doing isn't working, then you need to change it. And I'm not saying to cut out your classes. I was a group fitness instructor for a long time. It's just hard in a group class to really customize the workouts to be individual for each person's specific goals. And a lot of times the classes are moving really quickly. And in order to build muscle, you really need to lift a little bit heavier and to rest so that the next set that you do, you're lifting as heavy as you can. And you can't do that in classes like that. There's no way you can do it. It can't be customized enough. So if you're going to do the classes, which I'm not saying cut out the classes because I know people love the classes, for so many things, for their mental health, for the camaraderie of being with other people. So do that for sure, but just maybe don't do it as often and just try and bring in some strength training. The other trainings that I brought in were shorter HIIT sessions that were more intense in nature. So getting my heart rate higher, maybe resting a little bit more. So a shorter amount of time. Because as we get older, too much HIIT also can raise our cortisol levels, put too much stress on the body. So it needs to be a shorter amount of time and more weight training. The other thing I really like to incorporate is band workouts because I like to do bands because one, it doesn't leave you as sore as other trainings. And two, it helps me with function. So you can work out on different planes. So rotational, front and back, up and down, and really help to avoid injuries in the future. So many of my clients have gotten injuries like bending down to tie their shoe or putting on their seatbelt, just basic movements because they're not built into a lot of workouts or they don't think to build them in. So I feel like that is really important, functional type of movements within your exercise and not always working on the same planes, front and back or up and down, like rotational is equally as important. The sixth thing that I changed was eating more and stopping the intermittent fasting. And so I know a lot of women like to intermittent fast or just they're not hungry in the morning. But a lot of the research that I did was talking about, getting in a lot of protein in order to meet our needs of building muscle and reducing fat. And it's very hard to get in enough protein if you're intermittent fasting for long periods of time, if your eating windows are really short. So I do something called time restricted eating, which is really like stopping eating a couple hours before bed and then eating in the morning. So if I stop eating at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, then I eat again, at 8 or 9 in the morning. So it's 12-hour window that I'm not eating. That's giving my body time to regenerate, to heal itself, and then eating again in the morning. So again, having 30 grams within an hour of waking is another tip that helps me get to my protein goals. So when I break that time restricted eating window, I will try and have 30 grams of protein first thing. And a lot of women, a lot of my clients struggle with getting in enough protein. So because they're not hungry in the morning or they don't have time to make something in the morning. So I really try and specialize in creating recipes for myself and putting videos up that are super, super fast. So like within 5 minutes, I have 3 kids. I get it. I don't have a lot of time to be making things. So like I make a protein coffee. So just coffee with protein powder and ice cubes, that's 30 grams. And another tip would be like, instead of doing 1 scoop of protein powder, which is maybe 25 grams of protein, do like a scoop and a half to help you get to that 30 grams of protein. So add more protein powder. Another thing I do is a cup and a half of egg whites. A cup and a half of egg whites is about 30 grams of protein. So I'll do that in multiple different ways. Obviously omelets, I do mix it with oatmeal in the microwave and then bring that to work and put sugar-free syrup, fruit on top. And I also do a low carb bread with the egg whites and make kind of like high protein, low carb French toast. Another thing I want to talk about in the time restricted eating and getting in a lot of protein is fiber. So fiber is really important as we age. It just keeps our bodies healthier, keeps our blood sugars, more stable. So that's really important. So the carbs that we eat are also important. So I try and focus on like higher fiber carbs, okay, and complex carbs, really, really healthy fats. I eat a lot of fat, but healthy fats, a lot of like chia seeds, hemp seeds, avocados, those type of things every single day. Take fish oil supplements to keep all my fats high. So that's really good just for healthy skin, for your mind, for cognitive function, and a lot of fruits and vegetables. Okay, so I have to be careful with the fruits because they tend to raise my blood sugar, I watch my fruit intake and try and keep it to like berries to get a lot of antioxidants. So estrogen is an antioxidant for your body. And as we lose estrogen, we need to supplement it with more antioxidants, and ideally through your diet, through whole foods, through vegetables and fruits. So I try and incorporate as much vegetables as I can into my diet and fruits. But your estrogen drops, a lot of your blood work will be different. And I'll do a whole nother video on that, but it's like a really pet peeve of mine that a lot of doctors are not on top of this stuff and just recommending crazy things to their patients. So it's just really important for you to be diligent about your health and do a lot of research and not just jump on every medication that your doctor recommends to you without seeing if there's alternative options. So for me, I incorporated a lot of fruit and my A1C levels went up a little bit, and that's the only thing that I changed. So I am looking at finding more specialists to help me with this because I don't want to cut a whole food group out of my diet because my estrogen has dropped and my sugars are going up. So whether it be I have to supplement with estrogen, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So these are things that I'm exploring as I am in menopause and I want to be as healthy as I can. So a bonus tip would be regarding alcohol. So a lot of my clients, like to drink alcohol, and I like to drink alcohol, and I would come home from work and I would have a glass of wine, every single night. And I, wanted to cut it down, but it was just becomes a habit. And so to break a habit, it's really, really hard. So I had discovered a different drink when I was at the liquor store, something like a CBD THC concoction, very low, 10 calories, very low in carbs. And the man at the liquor store was like, these are selling off the shelf and you should really try them. So I never really, for myself, responded well to like pot or to any type of recreational drugs in my younger years. It just always had a disastrous effect. So I decided to try like the lower dose ones, so like 2 milligrams, 3 milligrams of CBD or THC or whatever. But when I had those, I was very scared to combine it with alcohol because I didn't know like how it would affect me. The man at the liquor store said people do combine it, but I just for myself didn't want to combine it. So I noticed when I would have those drinks at night, since I was scared to combine it with alcohol, that I wasn't drinking alcohol. And that just happened to be like night after night. I kept trying these CBD drinks. They come in different flavors and just wasn't drinking. So I happened to just by chance, just kind of cut down on my alcohol consumption. So obviously everyone knows we shouldn't be drinking that much alcohol, but I do have clients that drink, a bottle of alcohol a night. And I find that the older my clients are, honestly, the more that they drink regularly. So even if like getting these drinks can help you cut it down, that's only going to benefit your health in the long run and, help you in your goals because those calories add up and it can slow your metabolism down as well. So maybe just swapping that out once in a while will make a difference for you. I hope these tips help you in your journeys of losing fat, losing weight over the age of 50, 45, really when our hormones start to drop, it's really, really challenging. So, small steps every day will help you in getting to your goals. So good luck on your journeys and subscribe and like this channel if you like this content, and I'll see you in the next one.